Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Alright, if you just joined us, it's still Enterprise Morning on Enterprise TV. You're welcome back. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says a mansion used as a laboratory for the production of methamphetamine in Victoria Garden City, FGC, Lagos, has been forfeited to the federal government. In July 2022, the NDLEA busted the laboratory located on Road 14, VGC. The boreholes and water bodies within 500 meters of the said property were said to have been contaminated. In August 2022, NDLEA chairman Buba Marwa said the owner of the Met laboratory, identified as Chris Emeka Nzewi, was producing the toxic drug in a house where he lives with his family. The NDLEA chairman said a 3-month-old baby was also living in the house. Subsequently, the anti-drug agency arrested Nzewi and Sonny Oke-Uka. The duo were arraigned before the Federal High Court in Lagos. They pleaded guilty to the charges. The court convicted and sentenced Nzewi and Oka to 4 and 3 years in jail, respectively, with an option on fine and community service. In a statement on Sunday, Femi Babafemi, NDLEA spokesperson, said the court ordered the forfeiture of the mansion and Nzewi's vehicle to the federal government. Gentlemen, love to say thank you so very much for joining us and for being part of our show. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, thank you so very much for being part. And
thank you.
Mr. Cyril Abaku, thank you so very much for also being part of our show. Now, let's go to the crux of the matter here. Are we surprised that a met production company is found in Highbrow area like VGC in Lagos State? Let me start with you, Barrister Tunji.
Yeah, you are surprised. For me, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised not because I know that they do it there, but I know that in Nigeria, if you want to commit crime, and you want to go scot-free or want to escape a crime, just go to where they see as a big man abode. So in those places, people will put less eye in that kind of thing. So that's why I said I'm not surprised. People who have, if you see most of the people that you call big men or whatever, if you see what they do, you'll be surprised and say, so these are the people, and some people are letting them, thinking they are genuinely doing one genuine business or another. So it's not a surprise for me seeing that acting that kind of area. If it's a machine or whatever it is, I will not be surprised as well. So there's no. I'm sorry I called that name. It's just that. I'm also part of the place. Yeah, we know. We are very stubborn in a way, and then we know how to get things done. Yeah. So and then so that's for me. It's not a surprise. It's a tactics, and you see people. These days, if you see this in code, the Yahoo boys or whatever, where they have their abode in most of
those high-brow places,
they will be able to hide their crime. So if you want to hide their crime in Nigeria, that is tactic they use now. They go to a place where people will not put much eye, and then for you to even go into that place to enter, there have a lot of security check. So they prefer those kind of places where people they will at least to an extent be secure. This is a residential house for and most people will not even suspect that I'm very sure there must be somebody who is aware or who is a part of it or something happened that was
had to. Exactly.
Otherwise they may not even know.
True. Now, Mr. Stewart, what do you think would people make out of this neighborhood? Remember, it's a highbrow place. It's a place where the high and the mighty stay. What do you think will be the possible perception from the general public towards that community?
Well, the street sense, by street sense, is to say that you check well, it may not be only that house. There will be many of them in that same place. That's what you normally think, talking of street sense. But again, the fact that there was a 3-month-old baby in the house, the fact that VGC isn't the sort of place you want to associate with something this bad. But in crime fighting and crime investigation, they say things like when something can be hidden in plain sight. Hidden, but it's in plain sight. So it is the last place you want to turn. If you had gone to ask kind of his neighbors to say, we suspect something like this in that, they would imagine that it should be in that sort of family setting. They have a new baby, 3-month-old baby, and so on. You won't imagine, but believe me, the thing is that the places you least expect are the places where the most things usually happen. And the question would be, this bust is quite a big one, no doubt about it. But the point again to be made is that the NDLA for some time has plateaued on a particular level.
Okay.
The first weekend Mara took over, there was a drug bust about something that was worth 30 billion in street value. It was a haul. After then they've got billions and billions like that. But the fact is that they seem not to have been able to go one step higher to begin to deal with the people who have the war chests, the money to be able to fund the drug market in the country. So we are still dealing with the level of operators. But the thing of operators in VGC, how much is a house worth in VGC? It's not a place any common person can dream of going to own a property. How much more to be there to own the property and to now bring in those things to establish a meth factory in that just goes to show the determination of those who are also practicing, who are also producing drugs, to say that they're not. They don't seem to be in the mood to let up anytime soon. They have the market, they have the money, they can even at the end of the day has only now gone to arrest. But how do we know in the past? Maybe some police officer, somebody got me for it, and maybe they even paid off.
That's true.
So this is quite a bigger thing that we're looking at. This man will just be a pawn in a bigger chessboard.
Barrister, just the last question on this discourse. The victims have pleaded guilty for their crime, and they have been asked to forfeit their homes. Legally, do you think it's still possible under the legal framework to have these people reclaim their properties afterwards?
Yeah, I think yes, they have. There are two other layers of court to go to. This is the Federal High Court or so. Then thereafter they can appeal to the Court of Appeal, and then from Court of Appeal they can go to Supreme Court. So if they have a grant, or genuine grant to appeal, and they succeed in their appeal, that can be reversed.
I mean, but I'm just thinking out loud, because they pleaded guilty to the charges, except maybe on the grounds of leniency or.
That's when it will become difficult for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they pleaded guilty. They make it more easy for the court to give them. So it will be very, very difficult. Just like you said, yes, it's a good whatever. Since they pleaded guilty, it may be difficult to say to have the what's it called, the judgment upturned. But I'm not even okay with the judgment itself, and that's why we are not teaching people that there's no detriment here. I was expecting that apart from that, the issue of fine, 4 million, 3 million, should not even come. They should not give them an option. Allow them
or community service.
That I don't even. Those are not the kind of offense you give community
service. Exactly.
Yeah. They should have been allowed to spend their time in jail, and then they probably by the time they will come out, they will turn a new leaf. But as it is now, who knows what they have elsewhere. That is exactly. So they may just come back and start. So if you want to deter people from committing similar crime, I think we should be more punitive in our punishment.
Very true.
In this kind of a thing, particularly this kind of a drug-related issue. So make it more punitive in terms of showing that look, the punishment will look tough. I'm not 4 million, 3 million. They can bring it out.
It's money that can be. Like they say with the
I think they have. We don't know their standard. They may not. It doesn't matter. And then, so we don't know whether the house that has been forfeited is the only house they even have. And then when they come back, they can even start and they
can be releasing this thing from prison. I mean, I'm not talking about these guys. But the drug world is not a very.
So we should impose more punishment, more deterrence punishment in terms of not giving them option.
True, very true. All right, let's move to our second phase for our conversation today. The Abuja Division of the Federal High Court has restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, from conducting a fresh election to fill the seats of the 26 Rivers House of Assembly members who defected, really, from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to All Progressive Congress, APC. Justice Donatus Okorowo, who gave the ruling in an ex parte motion moved by counsel to the defected lawmakers Peter Onwa, also restrained the Inec, PDP, and the Rivers Parliament from declaring their seats vacant and withdrawing their respective certificates of return pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. Okorowo also gave an interim order of injunction restraining all the defendants from interfering with or impeding in any way or attempting to interfere with or impede in any way the performance of the applicant's official and legislative functions as the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and member, respectively, of the Rivers State House of Assembly pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. The judge also granted restraining the defendants, respondents that leave jointly and or severally by themselves or their agents from interfering with or impeding in any way or attempting to interfere with in any way the full judgment of the official rights and privileges of the plaintiffs/applicants as the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and members, respectively, of the Rivers State House of Assembly pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. He also granted an interim injunction restraining the fifth and the sixth defendant, IGP and the SSS, by themselves, officers, subordinate servants, or agents from denying or refusing to provide security for the plaintiffs or howsoever withdrawing their security details or personnel, or failing to provide details or personnel for failing to provide adequate security for the plaintiffs/applicants for the purpose of enabling them to continue with the performance of their constitutional, legislative, and oversight functions pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. The judge ordered the applicants to undertake damages of 250 million naira. Justice Okoro adjourned the matter until December 28 for hearing the motion on notice. Gentlemen, this has been a recurrent discourse in our public domain and in Nigeria in its entirety, the issue of Rivers State. And I guess it's because Rivers State has a very big point when it comes to politics in Nigeria. Is this, what do you make out of all of this? Because every day we keep having recurrent issues and trickling of new information. What do you make out of this? Let me start with you, Barrister Tunji.
I think the situation in Rivers State is unfortunate. And this judgment or order that has just been released, for me, I think it's just it's more damage to our system, our institution. I say so because I am aware that the courts are to base their decision based on fact before them and not anything outside the court. But as a lawyer, I'm also aware that the courts have the power to, what they call, to take judicial notice of an order of court or law.
Okay.
But what am I saying here? With this order of this court now, there's a conflict. That is the point I'm trying to make. And it's not good for us. And we're having this conflict because of this ex parte order. We are all aware, everybody's aware that there's an order of court already in Rivers State. Restraining these 27 people from parading themselves as assembly member, recognizing some is or somebody as the speaker, and then these are the people, and they're asking the Inec to declaring their seats vacant. To conduct a new election. So what we have had yesterday or the day yesterday or whatever, was it Friday or Saturday, the other is a contradiction of that particular order. So, and it's for me, I was expecting that when that matter comes before the Federal High Court judge in Abuja, I was expecting that, yes, it was by motion, ex parte, motion on notice. I was expecting that the judge would say, look, having become aware of the fact, because he's aware. Yes. He can't say, this is not fact. This is just notice, like I said, the court have the power to have a judicial notice of a order of court. There's an order of court. I was expecting, because when they say ex parte, it means the other parties will not be before the court. It's only you and the judge. So, and the judge has a duty to be satisfied that what you are asking for, you are entitled to it. And in that, he also has the right to ask you questions as to why do you want it? What damage? What irreparable damage? Because you can only give in an ex parte order I only apply for where you say you want to claim that there will be irreparable damage if this is not granted. So I would have expected the judge to say, look, I am aware there's a case in the River State. Can you, instead of me giving you another ex parte, can you quickly serve this, put other people on notice, and then come back on so and so day so that we can hear the motion on notice. In other words, we'll be able to give other people opportunity to respond to that decision so that they'll be able to tell the court that there's an order already or there's no order already. Because it is not the court will tell me it's not aware of any order before now, that the matter before him did not state so. So for me, it is not good for our system.
But my question is, why do we, from your experience, you are a barrister and you are the only person to actually, throw more light on this. Why do you think we keep having this, flexing of judicial muscle, such that, one judicial arm is saying one other thing, another judicial arm that is aware of what the one earlier person said is saying some other different thing. What is happening? Help us make sense of all of this?
Unfortunately, we all know the reasons. The reason is not far-fetched. The reason is because of compromise. That is not it. If I say we don't tell ourselves the truth, influence and compromise.
On whose part?
On the part of the politician and the judges. The politician want to weigh their influence on them, and then the judges will also say, look, I don't have a choice. Sometimes these people are the one who brought them into office. So those who brought them to office will ask them questions and say, look, I want you to let me do this. Sometimes they will not be able to want to say
and
no.
there are no checks and balances.
So what I'm saying is that, look, what I'm saying is that our judiciary has seem to show that they're not on their own. That's the point I'm trying to make. Some of them are showing the kind of color that look, I am being influenced by people. Otherwise, I don't expect that this kind of judgment will come out. There's a conflict now. We are, and there's a crisis. So the East faction will be parading themselves as a speaker, and the authorized people to be in the house. These 25 people or 26 people or 27 people, as the case may be, will also be parading themselves based on order, and they all have an order to rely on. They have legally order, whether rightly or wrongly. This order is order of court. So whether it's right, whether it's wrong, the order you can also rely on it. If you are challenging my order, you go to a court against it. If you are challenging your, so we have created a conflict in that situation now, and then it becomes difficult for them to operate. For me, like I said, it's about not the people in our system are in the helm of affairs in terms of are not firm. They are very timid, and they're not firm in taking decision that will be in the interest of the nation. They look at a certain influence. That's my own thinking, and I believe it's because of that. If not, I don't see a reason why this kind of order would have been granted by way of ex parte, knowing fully well there's another order already pending. And like I said, so people will tell me, would you expect the judge to go and look outside the court? No, the court is empowered to take judicial notice of law and any other or judgment of a court.
Now, Mr. Cyril, now let's go to the grassroots here. You are from Rivers State, so what we're talking about really concerns you, and I want to believe you have more information, from what is happening in the grassroots. What do you think the locals, the indigenes of Rivers State, what do you think, have you had maybe conversations with them, what do you think is building in their minds?
No, so let me be very upfront with you. I'm not taking sides in the matter, but there's a wild wind, there's a gale of joy to think that people now feel that they have a deliverer or a Messiah that will
on whose
for common Rivers folk.
Okay.
Who now think that they have somebody who can finally stand up to Mr. Wiki to pull them out of his control.
His cage.
Yes, his cage. There was a time they had that same sympathy from Mr. Wiki that they had come to deliver them from Rotman Mechi. So Fobara to there's this. I'm not sure that on election day this year, Fubara enjoyed that because people thought it was Wike's top 10. They called him all kinds of names. He wasn't even really a career politician. But whatever the case is, today, he is the symbol of the movement to free Rivers State from Mr. Wike's hands. And for me, I knew that it was only time before the pro-Wike lawmakers will fight back. This is a fight back. They are fighting out to China. So you ask yourself, how many hours of assembly do we now have in Rivers State? Is it that we have to?
No, by these orders, we have to.
We have to. So how do you think both
That's the problem. That's the problem. And by an expected motion. You saw the very...
None of them got expected.
No, I know. But
and even the first order, the first order that was good, I was expecting that the court will ask them to go and put those people on notice so that they were able to hear them. But unfortunately, we now abuse the use of ex parte in this country. To the extent that some people even thought, thinking by some people is that ex parte order is automatic. That once you have any issue, you just go to court. But I see people come to and say, we need another lawyer. I say, it's not order of getting injunction. Go and get injunction against it. Injunction is not that, it's not absolute, it's not automatic. It's something you need to, it must be extreme emergency. It's not just everything you can, but as it is today now, there's an emergency here. But the point here is that we have different we have cases already.
And they're
duplication of cases. Yes, I thought I've seen the jurisdiction.
Courts with equal power are issuing this. And
I'm aware, before you file a case in federal court, they will ask you to make to depose to an affidavit that there is no other similar matter for any court in Nigeria.
Now you can imagine where we are. And look, it was with a expert motion that a judge sacked the entire escort of the Labour Party. Expert motion.
Chief Justice of Nigeria
was
sacked by way of expert.
Wow.
Now you have an expert. You can look at the very far-reaching provisions that were made. This the very far the concessions that the court give them. You saw them now. And all of this came through one expert motion. A motion in which you and I have a problem, we approach the court. You don't have to be there. I can quickly go and say, I want me relief against this person because of and you don't have to be there. It's just when the judge and you question an issue. And the judge, I mean, it's all a joke. It's all a joke. So is it that they lied to the judge, or the judge didn't know that there's already that? I mean, this has been the biggest political issue in the country for 2-3 weeks now. We have to be more, and that is why I've been asking the question for some days. Are we going to? Can Rivers people really hope that that this matter can be resolved by law, or it will come to? Because if those lawmakers are now going to sit and say, "Well, we are impeaching our governor," will the federal government and the police now obey
what they are saying?
Which means you are giving for more violence now.
If you are following our law, and if our law is going to prevail, it will come a time if we want to go by our law, National Assembly will have to take over the House of Assembly of Rivers State.
Do you think? Do you see that in the offing?
It may not be. I mean, if that, you know why that will not be. The both party, particularly the 27 or 25, they will not want that.
Okay.
Because the National Assembly, when they take over, they won't have that power of impeaching the governor. And as it is now, they are bent on having the governor impeached. So that will not pay them if the National Assembly takes over the affairs of the Assembly of the Rivers State. So, but as the way it is, the way it's going now, I think it may be that situation whereby it will be impossible for the House to even carry their businesses in the Rivers State.
Except the four of them who will go to the governor's ante-chamber and pass it and make a resolution, and it will be thought to be law the way they pass the budget in 24 hours. Come on.
Now, finally, do you think, what do you make out of all of this when it comes to, development to the grassroots? Do you think 2024 there's possibility to have development, to have infrastructures built, to have human capital development and all of that?
About it. As I speak to you now, I want to believe. I mean, thinking the money is being. Both camps are now pushing money down to who? Get to secure. I was expecting the governor to sack his cabinet. Since they all came to Mr. Wike. Have you seen him do that?
Or the ones that even resigned, maybe he would have swiftly replaced.
But you see, he's not doing that. Yes. Which means he is careful in my thinking. He's looking for whom he can convert, because Wike has very strong structure in university. So he's looking at those that will convert, let them convert and give me what they have. While I will take my time to make sure that anybody I'm bringing in you know, will be what the person's will. So it's a very tight situation. But I can tell you that the budget of 800 billion that was passed in less than 24 hours. These are money that are going to go to people to say, I'm buying your support. I'm buying your loyalty.
It's a budget. It's an estimate. It's not money yet.
But I mean, he assigned it.
You people have in fact, you are qualified to be in the Guinness Book of Records. I was complaining that the 1 month the National Assembly wants to use to screen the budget of the Mr. President is 2 shots, and I saw just hours. It shows that
less than 24 hours.
Not even do
5 minutes. 5 minutes. Come on.
We were just less than 24 hours and the budget was passed. Should River State be on the Guinness Book of Records? Well, that is debatable. Well, it was an awesome discussion we had this morning. I'd love to say thank you to Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid for being part of our show today. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you. Let me also ask you. Let me also add, sorry.
Yes.
The 25 or 24 members of the Assembly that are bent on being a member, whatever they do, resolution or whatever they pass, who will sign it, who will approve it?
That is what
so they will
goes
just be there on their own.
On their own.
And here they say they part about 2 or 3 billion. Who will sign the billion? And for a bill to become law, it must be signed by the government. It.
Yeah.
Can
but can they be transmitted to the governor's office?
So they become fictitious lawmakers. That is. Well, that's a very funny one. Thank you, Mr. Cyril, for being part of our show. And to our viewers, love to say thank you so very much for also being part of our program, wherever it is you're watching from in Nigeria and across the globe. But please do remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Enterprise TV 7. Press the notification bell so you get notified whenever we drop our content. I am Henry Igubika. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Enterprise TV, your one-stop shop for news, programs, human angle stories, the economy, sports, and much more. We go the extra mile to bring incredible details to you. So hop on the train now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.